right, so we're going to bring the Animal Control Board meeting to order. Our first action is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so we'll now read the function and duties of the board, the functions of the animal control. Oh, sorry. So, the functions of the Animal Control Board are as follows. Make recommendations to the Chief Administrator of the Office of Emergency Management regarding animal care and regulations consistent with Florida statutes and Chapter 20 of the Seminole County Code. These recommendations must be approved by a majority of the Animal Control Board prior to the submission to the Chief Administrator of the Office of Emergency Management. The Animal Control Board shall meet at least 3 times per year. Special meetings may be called by the chairman or vice chairman or by any 3 members of the board upon 48 hours notice to all members and the animal control official and chief administrator of the emergency management. A majority of the Animal Control Board will constitute a quorum. So, public participation. Pursuant to Florida law, the public has a right to be heard on all propositions. Public comment time for propositions shall be 3 minutes for individuals and 6 minutes for organizations. The public will be provided an opportunity to be heard on non-agenda matters at the end of the meeting. Proper decorum will be observed. So, get that little agenda item out of the way. Next is the roll call.
John McGrath.
Present.
Mr. Brian Wilson.
Present.
Ms. Bridget Lake.
Present.
Ms. Gail Hare.
Present.
Dr. Viz.
Present.
Detective Monk.
Present.
Chris Buchanan. Absent. Mr. Chairman, we have a quorum.
All right, great, thank you. So the first meeting of the year, we typically have nominations for the chairman and the vice chair. So do we have any nominations for the chairman?
Nominate you.
All right.
I'll second it.
Do we have a vote?
Aye, sir.
Aye. All right. So Brian Wilson is elected chairman. Vice chair, you did a great job. John, I nominate John McGrath to be the vice chair.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Same as last year. We're doing a great job. So thank you for taking over the time I missed the meeting. Minutes for the prior meeting. Has everyone had a chance to read the meetings? Any comments on them? Adjustments, additions, subtractions, corrections, etc.? I think we're all been well served by y'all. Thank you for doing good summaries of our previous meetings. Do we have a...
I'll motion to approve.
Okay, second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, approved. I'm going to hit the hammer every time I know you're doing that nonsense. Okay, so our next item is the introduction of the new manager.
Thank you, Chairman, and the rest of the board members and members of the public. As you know, my name is Stephen Lerner. I was the interim Animal Services Division Manager for 2 amazing months. It was probably one of the highlights of my career so far at Seminole County, getting to work with all the groups and the animals and the amazing staff over at Animal Services. I learned more about animal welfare than I ever thought I would in my career in government. It gives me great pleasure after a number of hours of interviews to welcome Adam Leith from a number of other animal welfare organizations as our new division manager of Animal Services. He comes with a significant amount of experience, 20 plus years, I believe, of experience of animal welfare, number of boards and positions, and just a great deal of experience. We're very happy to have him. I hope in the next few months he'll have an opportunity to reach out to each of you and work with you as you did with myself. Welcome, Adam. We are very happy to have you. And with that, I'll let Adam introduce himself as well.
Thanks, Stephen, and good afternoon, members of the board, members of the public. I am really excited about the opportunity to learn and grow alongside you. I pride myself as a lifelong learner and self-servant, servant to the public, to be able to provide direct resources to animal victims of cruelty and disaster through my time at the national ASPCA all the way through to municipal and county government. So I'm really excited about working alongside all of you and want to be able to be a resource to all of you as well. And I'm looking forward to the next challenges that we might experience and the successes that we're going to celebrate at the shelter.
Well, welcome aboard. Any questions for? Okay. And as far as public comment goes, do we have any public comment for any of the items, so I don't have to keep asking you?
No,
for-
we have no public comment at this point.
Okay. So the next item on the agenda is the old business. So TNVR. Who's going to be? Yup.
Good evening, everybody. Well, as we do in this meeting every quarter, just give you a quick update. Since we've been going strong now for a little bit over 2 years now, we have approximately 651 cats. I know me and Andrea always go tit for tat for this, but about 651 cats that we transferred. We're continuing to educate the public, give out information, letting them know that the program is alive and thriving. So I think it's still working very well. So we're still going to continue to do it. And you'll see the breakdown on the statistics further in the meeting.
Andrea, do you want to come on up and give us a perspective from the?
I can never remember this. Do I have to do my name and address?
Name and address.
Okay, thanks. Andrea Hubbs, 411 Ipswich Street, Altamont Springs, Florida, 32701. And I run the group Seminole County TNVR. And I don't know how you guys, if you all ever have suggestions on how you want me to change, if you want me to change the way I do the statistics, because I kind of just do it from when we started as opposed to fiscal year or by the month or anything like that. So if anyone has a different way they want me to do this, just let me know. So I always just do it from when we started, which was November of 21. So total number of community cats that we have TNVR'd for residents and businesses is 1,660. And I guess Alan, I need to get together on this next statistics. I have since February of 22 till through February of 24, I have 857 cats that we've gotten from Seminole County Animal Services. And out of the 857, we have adopted out 252 cats and kittens. To be honest, we could have adopted out more, but I don't have a whole lot of fosters working for me. We're mostly trappers. So if I can get more fosters, we can actually adopt out more. My house is only so big. And so the total number of TNVR cats that we've done and from Animal Services is 2,517. I did have a question because the last couple of weeks we've been getting less. Well, 2 weeks ago we got 0 cats, and this week we got 1 cat. And if this is going to be, I don't know what's changing and everything, but what I do is I reserve 8 appointments every Thursday at Span Save for the Animal Services cats. So if this is going to be a trend where there's going to be less, if you guys could let me know so that way I can give those appointments to other people wanting to bring in feral cats to get spayed or neutered. And that way, because I think I have the calendar booked out through June, and then I can adjust it if that's the deal. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. And then there's the contract with Spay and Save. Has that been done yet? Is that a done deal?
So they provided us with the terms of the contract that were agreeable. So it's been provided back to the commission. So it's going to go in front of the county commission.
Okay.
As soon as that's approved, then we move forward. So
Okay,
yeah.
awesome. Okay, thank you. Any questions on anything? No? Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you so much. Okay, and then the Hound Around Town program.
All right, so our Hound Round Town program is currently in its second year with approximately 209 dogs going out for play dates. With almost all of those dogs have been adopted or transferred out to rescues. Those that have not been adopted or transferred are still awaiting at the shelter for their forever homes, and the program continues to see increased volunteer participation.
Sure. Any comments on the Hound Around Town program? You're aware of what the Hound Around program is? Okay. I just
I'm
wanted
very
to-
familiar, yes.
I didn't know.
We rely
How
upon
many
it.
volunteers do you have, actually? Do you have people that come up like every week, pretty much, or, I'm sorry, I had you sit back down.
Yeah, we have volunteers Monday through Friday. They can come in between the hours of 10 a.m. and noon to walk they usually get there about 10 a.m. and can have them out until noon. Usually I have a set group of 2 women that come in regularly, and then other volunteers that come in throughout the week, just depending on their schedules. But we have a consistent, and monthly we have 2 volunteer orientations, so we gain more volunteers that way as well.
That was a fun program, yeah.
We can always use
Hard
more.
numbers, I don't know how many hard
Yeah,
numbers.
yeah.
Okay, so new business.
All right, so there were a couple of updates that we wanted to provide. I guess this would be where we were going down with our new hours of operation. You'll be seeing,
First, we started with the adoption T-shirts.
got it. So I know Denise has been working hard to create some additional opportunity for people to display their support of animal services, and we actually have several of them that are now available in our adoption lobby and that we are able to do at special events. An additional way to engage. I know that Mr. Harris is very fond of animal services, and if everyone loved us as much as Alan does, I don't think we would have any challenge out there. He's very supportive, but to be able to show their support, so we're offering those as well. And then we also have, after that, our new hours of operation, if there weren't any questions. So what we've been trying to do at the shelter is reduce length of stay. Length of stay is a big deal, especially in animal welfare. In fact, it's probably one of the best predictors of the quality of care that the animals are being provided, is how long they end up needing to stay at the facility. So we really try to avoid having them come in, but when those actually do end up needing to come in, we want them to stay as short a period of time as possible. So in order to make that take place, we want to make sure that they're highly adoptable. We want to make sure that we're doing enrichment, that our team is fully trained, that we provide them with additional opportunities to advance their own education about what they're doing. So we changed the adoption and the front desk hours to accommodate for some additional training and enrichment each day. So our lobby opens at 10, so 10 to 6, with adoptions being at 12 to 6. That's Monday through Friday. And then our same hours for Saturday. But we did want to make that update so that we can make an additional investment into the patients that are in our care and provide us the additional time necessary in order to do so. All right, so the next was our Pets for Patriots. So we are using these as our kiosks on our banners outside. You'll also see them on our billboards and any of the banners in front of the shelter, where we are providing pets to patriots at no cost. It's actually a national movement and one that we want to support here. So if you or anyone who you know would be interested in looking for a new four-legged family member, it's really the only time you get to pick your family. So I always encourage people to do that. And we want to make sure that any of our veterans within the community have access to a really, really neat program. So following that, we have, I guess the last key item that we had on there was going through discussing the name change. I guess that was previous business. Then it was left remaining, and there was a request to change the name from the Animal Control Advisory Board to the Animal Welfare Board. So I wanted to make sure that that was at least brought up for discussion.
So, I mean, regarding the name change, I don't think we care what we're called, as long as, our role is to help advise y'all on what we may know about, how to improve animal services, how to help, and then to also go to our commissioners to say, hey, animal services is going to come forward with this information, and we wholeheartedly support it. So, I mean, it actually, prior to this was called the Animal Services Advisory Board. I don't know when we became, I think the name change to Animal Control Board was, yeah, it was a while ago. So, our name is irrelevant. Our function is the same, is to help the animals. So,
From what I understand, there was a specific request made by a member of the board, so that's why I just wanted to make sure that.
No, I believe it was by the public.
Yeah, it was public.
Public. Oh, okay.
One of the public
Apologize.
commenters had asked right at the end of the meeting, as we were all getting ready to leave, if there was a possibility of discussing changing the name of the Animal Control Board to the Animal Welfare Board instead, and which is why it is put on the agenda as a new item.
okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to speak for everybody, but I don't think our name matters as long as our function is the same, and it definitely seems to be a good direction we continue to head in, looking at the numbers we're about to talk about. So, is there any? Do we have anyone who votes to vote for yes on changing the name to the Animal Welfare Board?
I don't have an objection with it. Actually, welfare seems like a better fit, only because animal control sounds like sounds a little bit more rough, and that's not really what we're doing, so.
All right. So, do we have so it should be that the board will recommend. We are proposing to change the name of the Animal Control Board to the Animal Welfare Board. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so the animal service, do we have to change, there's nothing in the ordinance or anything like that that defines our name?
So I'll defer to Andrew
Yeah,
for
so-
that. I don't know if this is going to require like a letter to
Yeah,
the board, and
that's-
the board action has to happen. When I say board, county commission,
Yeah,
but
board, county commission.
defer to our attorney.
Board members, I would have to take a look at the code. I do believe that the code does make reference to the existing name, and then that those ordinances have to be amended.
Okay.
I'll have to take a look at it just to see how much in the code that is. Thank God for Control F. I'll do that tomorrow, and then I can follow up at the next meeting.
Okay, and I don't, this is not something urgent enough that we want to ask, Alan Harris to go forward with the board just to do this name change. We'd be happy referring this to whenever he has a larger recommendation to go forward for other ordinance changes. So we can, as a group, we could refer to ourselves as the Animal Welfare Board until it becomes
Sure.
official.
How about the next meeting? I'll give a little presentation on exactly what would have to be changed, how often that term is used, and then you guys can take it from there.
All right, the board is in agreement. All right, so pending future changes, future ordinance changes, we will internally adopt the term Animal Welfare Board, and then we'll make it official as soon as we have legal counsel. Is that official enough?
That sounds fine to me.
Okay, so the next item is our events update from what happened in the past. So let's learn about all the great things y'all have been doing.
All right, hello again. So during the month of January, February, and March, we've continued to offer $5 adoptions. We participated in 2 events. In February, we were at the Seminole County's Touch a Truck event in downtown Sanford, and we also attended Pet Alliance's Paws in the Park at Lake Eola, allowing for 4 more dogs to be adopted and continue to provide public outreach. In January, we launched a new program called Seniors for Seniors, allowing anyone over the age of 60 to adopt a pet over the age of 6 years of age. We had a large food donation. I'm not sure if I'm saying the company's name right, but it's Akana, donated 600 cases of cat food to provide to adopters and foster homes and shelter cats. We recently received multiple donations from Pet Supermarket in Deltona, and they have invited us out to participate in an off-site adoption event that's going to be taking place on Saturday, March 30th, where we will be providing dogs available for adoption. Our BFF program had its first dog class since COVID, where we graduated 3 students and their dogs, and I'm happy to report that all 3 dogs have potential adopters already lined up. And since January 1st, we have had a total of 67 animals in our foster program, but currently we have 38 foster animals housed in 28 homes. That's 12 dogs and 26 cats and kittens. The other 29 animals have been adopted.
Can I ask you a question? Do you have a volunteer program for people to come play with the cats?
Yep.
And if they want to do that, they call who?
Yeah, you just have to attend a volunteer orientation prior to come in, but we can walk you through all that. And we hold them twice a month on Wednesday night and Saturday mornings.
Okay. Someone asked me today, and I said, I think they do have a program, but.
Yeah, they can just go to our website, SeminoleCountyPets.com, and if you click on the Hound Around Town link, it'll give you an option to go to sign up on our Eventbrite for our next event, which would be a volunteer orientation.
Okay.
And the March 30th event, is that going to be, do you just bring the dogs out to that, or do you bring the trailer out with the?
For that one, it's going to be indoors. It's going to be
Okay.
inside the store. So we're going to bring in about a few dogs and some crates and set up there.
Okay. Any questions about the past events? And future event now, so. Okay. The next item is the reports.
So I will tell you all, I made a typo error. The first 3 pages are the 22-23 statistics. The last 2 pages are actually the 23-24 pages. If you'll notice at the top, I did still have them listed as the 22-23 statistics. So I will make that correction for the next meeting.
Do we have any questions or comments on the reports? Okay. So now we have the public participation for the events that were not on the agenda, and I understand we have a number of speakers. So for the speakers who are going to be coming up and speaking, as I said, it's 3 minutes for an individual, and then 6 minutes for an organization, and we will appreciate your time. We have these to pass out.
Okay. Our first speaker is Dennis Bonnet. If you want to have a stand there at the podium, and if you'll state your name and address for the board.
Yes. My name is Dennis Bonatti, Sanford, Florida. First of all, I want to thank everybody for all the work that you do, okay? Saying that, just a little thing about unauthorized inspections. We've just previously had, want to bring it to your attention, an unauthorized inspection at Maximilian Schnauzers, which is owned by Vera Clark. She's a very highly respected Schnauzer breeder and animal lover known for her exceptional care of animals. Her dedication to the well-being and evident of meticulous attention she provides, including furnishings in her home with cribs, bassinets, couches for the comfort and protection of her Schnauzers. She spares no expense ensuring their health, even going as far as seeking medical care from establishments such as Gainesville Small Animal Hospital, despite the considerable distance and cost. I'm Vera's driver, and I have been called 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. There is no time for me. I volunteered this time to her, and I have driven up there, have stayed over, and we even had a dog that didn't have a heartbeat. And she still spent close to $2,000 trying to resuscitate this dog, gave them permission. You can walk on her property and you will not step in anything either. Property is meticulously clean. So I'm just deeply concerned about the violation of privacy and property rights in the incident, such as actions not only undermine the trust between breeders and regulatory agencies, but also are set to concerning precedent for future interactions. Coming into a property, looking around, when the owner is not there, yeah, you come in, we're courteously, we're going to let you in. You're going to walk around the outside of the property, but going inside, if they want to give you a tour, doesn't give you the authority to shuffle through papers, look in refrigerators. That is not what you do if you don't have cause or a warrant to do this. Maybe I'm wrong, you don't need a warrant. But my God, the owner is not there, she's getting hospital attention, and they just continue to stay for hours, 3 hours. So I find that a bit concerning going forward for anyone that has a breeder, an organization, volunteer organization, people coming in when the owner is not there and just walking through and doing what they want. I don't think we would like to work that way. Anyway, I said what I had to say, and again, thank you for all you do, and that's it, my time is up.
So I have more speakers on this same topic. Did you want to continue with that same topic of discussion?
If they have additional information to provide, the public is welcome to speak. I would appreciate it if we would have additional information and not just repeating the same things. If you could, just listen to what the previous speakers do say, and, but yeah, it will continue to be 3 minutes per individual.
Go ahead and state your name and address for the...
Vera Clark, 1075 Main Street, Sanford, Florida. I'm the owner of Maximilian Schnauzers. I've been breeding miniature Schnauzers for about 15 years. I'm not a professional breeder. I'm a retired registered nurse, but I fell in love with Schnauzers, and one thing led to another. I want to thank everybody. I don't remember every face, but I have quite a history with animal control. For 15 years, I obtained every year my license. If there were complaints coming in because of phone calls, they would come and visit, we would address it, we would fix it. Usually complaints come in from terminated employees or from the live puppy webcam which I provide, so my puppy clients can watch their puppies live. So you get complaint calls. I'm sorry, I'm going to overdo my 3 minutes. But we always work things out. And I love the people. I want to learn. I want to know who, what, how it's being done right. Well, let me tell you this. I fired, when I say fired, I mean terminate. Terminated another employee, and a few days later, I have a surprise visit on 7 March. I'm going to read this now. I had a surprise visit by Animal Control related to the incoming complaint call alleging that I was performing C-section on my dogs. The second call was supposed to be that I sold dogs to customers with worms. Nobody calls Animal Control because of worms. You call a breeder, you call a vet. These calls were fake, made by a disgruntled employee who was terminated a few days prior. It was explained to the officer. Also, I had explained it to the inspector that I was feeling very ill, that I'm a acute coronary artery patient, have coronary artery disease, and congestive heart failure, and I get out of breath real easily. But yet I invited him in to come, take a tour. I'm proud of my puppies, my dogs. My house is not my house, it belongs to the dogs. I live behind in a camper because I gave the house for my dogs. They deserve better than I do. Okay, so the inspector requested that I put together in Excel an inventory of each and every dog, including the guardian dogs that don't belong to me, but I own only the breeding rights. He wants to have all the rabies certificate of them as well. After all, I was explained, they come on the property, even though the male is only 20 minutes there. It's considered the boarding facility also will have to have rabies, so if they come on your property, they must have rabies certificates. That was not before, never in 15 years. In fact, I was told I didn't have to provide it, not with me. So nevertheless, I want to satisfy his request. He is new, and I want to learn about him and from him, and I want to, not argue, but be definitely compliable with his request. So I asked him how soon, and he did tell me Excel. So what do? I want to be just what he wants. I watched on YouTube Excel, how to Excel this program for 2 hours on YouTube. So I put this program in Excel. I called on Friday, the following day, wanting to clarify the inventory list. do I have to do the guardian dogs? And he said, yes, all dogs. The call, he did say about the inventory list, I might, and I want to repeat, I might drop by on Monday. And I said, I'm working on the list, I'm not sure I will have it ready. So then comes, we get interrupted. My vet is calling. I said, I'll call you right back, which I did, and left a message. Didn't get a call back. I called again at 2, left a second message. Didn't get a call back. This is Friday. Okay, I say Friday, anything can happen, early off, whatever. On Monday at 5 a.m., I sent an email to the inspecting officer and an additional email to his assistant that I will not be able to complete the inventory list because I will be checking in at 7 a.m. to the hospital for a catheterization, and furthermore, I have 8 stents, now I have 13, to get more stents put in me. And I regret, but I'm looking for, I hope to have it by Wednesday. We're talking about inventory list only. While I'm recovering from this surgery, I hear my phone bim, 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 and I, to my surprise, not only hear that SPCA is here, but they were just here on Friday, but this is Monday, they're here. They asked if they could have another tour, and out of courtesy, my assistant, Karen, said, okay. She was being courteous, we have nothing to hide, come on, you want to see it again? Sure, why not? She let this team in again on the property, and then they asked if they could come in, and she said, sure, why not? Let them in. This is when the trouble began and all the chaos. I was watching this. I'm on IV hooks in the hospital, and I'm watching while my cabinets are being opened, while my refrigerator is being showed. I watched everything unfold. I'm having an anxiety attack, a panic attack, and I'm in the recovery room in the cardiac unit. And they're watching my blood pressure go up and my heart going this way. Couldn't understand why, but this was all related what I was watching on the live cameras, what's going on in the kitchen, going through my personal thing while I'm in the hospital. There was no inspection appointment, there was no warning, I had no clue. There was no response to my email whatsoever. So I'm stunned, the caregiver was stunned, we were in shock. Then it gets better. He demanded that we give him all the rabies certificates. We said, well, the caregiver said, I don't know where she has them, but I did provide the email. In the email I provided my veterinarian phone number. He can obtain, what I don't have, he can obtain it from my veterinarian. He claimed and told Karen that he called the vet clinic, but they're not speaking to him, but I didn't return his call. Well, they have caller ID, and they never received a phone call. I've had with them a 20-year relationship. They never received a phone call. I have to say that he then insisted that Karen will go into my office, which is off limit to all personnel if I'm absent. I keep in there my passport, my safe, my private credit cards, my personal belongings. I keep a lot of things in there. I keep my life load in that office. He demanded and insisted and pushed that she will go in there to get rabies certificate. She said, I don't know where they are. I have no idea. She could have them on the computer. She could have them in a folder. I don't know. He said then, well, why don't you go look? I help you search for them. I help you search for them. She refused. He became ticked off.
Ma'am, I don't mean to interrupt you. We have other public comment, and I understand this is an issue between
yeah,
you
but
and
I was
Officer.
traumatized, severely traumatized.
I know, and I don't mean to minimize that.
Okay, let me just take my hand.
Yes, please.
My experience over this, I mean, I'm just shocked. But overall, during my 15 years, I have never failed an inspection. I have lacked in a few rabies, let's just say maybe 15% that were outdated, and I was given a warning, hey, you have 10 days, come and update it, bring it to us, and we'll correct this. So the inspection have always been consultative, where I could learn, and I've used the advice to improve my breeding organization. I strive for perfection and always welcome positive criticism for me to improve. The horrific experience was conducted in an argumentative, punitive manner without regards of my long, devoted passion for my dogs, my attention to breeding, selective breeding program of excellent caregivers, and numerous happy clients. I'm sorry that I overdid my time here. I'm just stunned, shocked. Just imagine being in a hospital bed on IV. You can't do anything and you have somebody going through this thing. That's all I want to say. This needs to stop. Because really, we don't know how many other breeders it was done to. And this, I'm not going to, but this could be a high risk for a potential lawsuit for Seminole County, something like this, because it's a violation of our rights. And I'm not going to do it because I love Seminole County and the animal control, but anybody who is employed and does this is a high risk for Seminole County. That's all I want to say. Thank you so much. And please, remember me in case I die of a heart attack.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
How many animals you have?
I have total that I own 46 dogs,
Okay.
out of which 30, I have 7 employees. We have 34 guardian dogs that are not on my property, and we produce about 60 liters a year.
Okay.
7 employees.
One of the issues I see is that you have this organization with all these animals, and
Just dogs.
your health is a concern.
I'm excellent in doing office administration, that's why I have workers physically. I do the developing, sitting, anything I can sit. We have bassinets, I sit with the bassinets and my dogs.
The issue is the law, ma'am. I have an animal hospital. They don't tell you when. They come and check and you don't say anything. That's their right. You know, there's laws. We have too many animals. You have an issue that you have to wait. They cannot wait.
Oh, for emergency, I agree with you. If there's an emergency fire or anything.
You know you have these animals, you should have, don't you have it in the computer?
Yes, they are in the computer.
Okay. And
Yes, they are on the
you couldn't
website.
get an access of that?
Yes, absolutely. I have a partner, a silent partner, who has all the information. It's all on my computer, it's all on my website. Not only that, should I pass tomorrow, those animals are provided for. Not only do I have a life insurance for the animals, but the animals already have homes. Should something happen to me, so I always think a step ahead. So if I die tomorrow, it would take about a month for the dogs to be all placed.
I don't see what they fail, honestly. I'm sorry that you got upset and all that, but you know, they went and they have to do their job.
But it was done,
Okay.
understand? But this was done without my knowledge. To open up my refrigerator, I had no idea I'm going to get an inspection. To open up my personal refrigerator, to open up my personal cabinets, that was not, an inspection was not mentioned. It was said, just one more tour. If it was an inspection, I understand what you're saying, but this was not an inspection. This was a visit, unannounced, and he was told that I am in the hospital, that I'm not available. And letting him in out of courtesy, absolutely fine, but that doesn't mean you can go into my purse, into my office, into my wallet. Going into my office is like going into my wallet, going into my purse. That's very personal, absolutely.
Did they do that? Did they went through?
He
their
demanded,
wallet?
he asked, he offered, he said to my caregiver for her to go in and we help her search. And to search means you have to go search through all my belongings to find what you're looking for.
Okay.
You follow what I'm saying?
How many times have you, How many times have you been inspected through the years?
15 times. 15 times.
No problems?
Never.
Okay.
Other than having maybe 7 or 8 or 9 maybe certificates that weren't current.
Okay.
During that last inspection that you're speaking of, were you cited or did you receive anything?
And I didn't even know it was an inspection. I received 59 citations on Monday for dogs that I don't even have. He named the dogs because each room, they have rooms. We call one room the honeymoon. So now we have a dog that's called honeymoon. Each dog is listed as purple. Each dog is listed as some. There are dogs that I don't even have that live in the panhandle that are retired. So I don't know where he grabbed the dogs from, but so there are dogs I don't even have that. So I have 59 citations that I had no idea. Even so, there was no time given. He comes and gives me 59 citations, even so I had, I would say, at least 40% of the baby certificate. Yet he did accuse us of, Karen, you know she doesn't have them. And of course I have them. Of course we have them. I have them with me, but not complete.
Do you get I'm sorry. Do you get citations on every visit?
No.
Okay.
No. This is the first time.
Okay.
This is the very first time in 15 years. Thank you. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Have a nice day.
I have a question. What is the limit, what is the code on breeding in Seminole County? The current code
Well,
about number of dogs?
I'd have to take a look at that, board member. I can follow up with you at the next hearing. I'm not entirely sure the number that you're asking for there.
Okay, the next speaker?
Next speaker is Karen Strickland. If you'll state your name and address for the board, please.
Karen Linehan Strickland, 500 Derby Drive, Altamont Springs, Florida, 32714. You need a phone number or no?
No.
Okay. I know that Vera covered a lot of things that I was going to talk about. I do have a couple of issues that I would like to bring up, which I agree with Vera, with a little uncalled for during this visit. Let me just get my thing because I was so busy listening to her. They showed up at the property on the 3rd of March, on the 11th of March, I'm sorry. And I brought them in knowing that they had been there the week before. I was not present for that. I myself have over 25 years experience as a breeder, show person of collies and Great Pyrenees, kennel technician, veterinary technician, groomer. I have a degree in horse care and training, and started working for Vera approximately 7 months ago, which I made known. When they showed up, they had asked if they could come, take the tour. I'm doing it brief now. Take the tour, which I didn't have a problem with, because as Vera said, we have nothing to hide. There were certain issues that really bothered me. A couple of them were, well, one big one was the 59 citations that were given, and I'll address them really quickly. In the house, after Adam left to go for a meeting, took Christine around to tour the home. Was not told it was an inspection. They did talk about a standard of care, did not explain it, did not explain to me the inspection report, but Adam, excuse me, I'm not sure of your last name, Adam informed me that I could read it if I want to, but he took the top 2 pages and Christine presented the signature page to me. So if I would have signed that signature page, I would have agreed to everything that was on their report. Okay, that bothers me immensely. The second thing is I let Adam back in as soon as he had contacted Christine. He informed me numerous times about the rabies certificates, did ask to see them, for me to produce them. He would help me look for them. Anyway, I'm going to cut to the end. They asked if they could use our patio to just finish up their paperwork. I agreed. When I agreed to that, I had absolutely no idea that 59 citations were being written up in this inspection, okay? Our dogs were not able to be let out for 2.5 hours while they were on the property. We could not take care of them. We had newborns, newborns, just a couple of days old, needed to be fed. The mamas needed to be fed. There's a lot of things that go into not just walking around the house and looking at it. Vera takes every precaution, everything. She does everything possible, okay? At the end, with the citation, we were told that we had to comply or produce the paperwork. And Adam said that to me directly. We can end this right now if you bring out the paperwork, okay? And I remember that verbatim, because I was like, sorry, do you think you are doing that to someone? And Sandra was standing right there also. And we asked you, how long do we have to comply? At least 5 times. And you gave us no answer. That was your answer. Produce the papers and it'll all go away. Then you said, it's done. They're written. It's done. And I can come back here tomorrow and give you 59. Come back the day after and give you 59 more. Okay? And to me, that's threatening. I'm sorry, but it is. And that is behavior that really, for someone, what are you on the job, 4 weeks? You're treating people this way? People that want to work, that have asked you. I asked you for help with this.
Ma'am, excuse me. So we appreciate this is a very stressful situation, and that
It has nothing to do with stress. It has to do with the way I was treated.
Okay,
1 second, if I may. I have one other very important issue. This man went into a medicine cabinet. None of his business what's in that medicine cabinet. Never asked for permission. Started taking pictures. Took pictures of a medication bottle, and then said to me out on the patio later, that was expired. So you know what that tells me? You didn't give Vera didn't give the dog the medication, so the dog was made to suffer. And I said to him, that's absolutely not true. Well, what am I supposed to assume if the medicine is still sitting in the bottle?
Okay. As Dr. Viz said, there are very specific laws here in Seminole County, and they have been put in place to prevent female situations, overbreeding, and people who are operating kennels who should not be operating kennels. Those laws were written with specific conditions in them that Animal Services has followed numerous times for other investigations and inspections. So we understand there are extenuating circumstances with her being in the hospital and you being new on the job, but
Not being told it with an inspection.
That is part of what is written into the ordinance, that these are available to be unannounced inspections, and if the entire house is going to be considered a kennel, then the entire house is going to be subject to the law. So the law is written as the law is written, and I do trying to provide some sympathy for her being in the hospital and you being new on the job and whatever extenuating circumstances there were, but I haven't seen a situation that you've described that says they're outside what the ordinance was written as. And I do
They
appreciate.
can also walk right into your house if you consider yourself a breeder.
If you exceed the number of animals and you have
And just go through anything they want, even though that's her private residence.
It's not her private residence. As was said, her entire house is considered her kennel, and therefore the kennel is available for inspection. There are very specific laws here in Seminole County that govern kennels. And this was brought up because of a number of hoarding situations and animal abusive situations. And I understand that for you, this is very traumatic, and probably for Ms. Vera, this was also very traumatic for her.
No, it's not traumatic. It's very aggravating. I was misled by this man, okay? I was misled. There was no inspection talk. There was no anything. Oh, he's really friendly, really pushes you and pushes you. And I'm telling you, I think it was about 20 minutes in, I had told the coworker, I'm not happy with this. But Vera had said that it was okay, again, not knowing it was an inspection.
Well,
And if I would have known, I can go in there, I can go in there, I can go in there. You all sitting here, and maybe even some of you, may know chapter and verse about what they can and cannot look into. But the average Miss Citizen may not, okay? And it would be something that would be helpful if, one, you don't threaten someone to give 59 citations every single day unless you produce the paperwork and end it now. What kind of talk is that? Are we living in a police state now?
I wasn't present to hear that conversation, and so
I'm telling you.
I think we would like to move on with other issues. So I'm not trying to minimize your, the aggravation you had, but we do have other speakers, and we appreciate you coming before the board.
Okay.
Do we have other questions?
I would just say this, and I pulled it up real quick, and I don't have the answer to everything that you guys are asking about as far as the inspections and things like that go. And all this is on the website, I mean, on the internet. You can look this up under Seminole County ordinances, under Chapter 20. It touches on, all the animal ordinances. And again, I'm not going to go too deep in this, but it does say that any records shall be made available immediately upon request to the county's animal control officers and other county officials charged with enforcing the provisions of this section. So that's...
And if you had, excuse me, Miss Vera's office, we are not allowed to go in. Her private computer, no. Paperwork, no. I told him repeatedly, at least three, if not 4 times, that I cannot give them to him. I have no idea where they are.
Understood, but again, and she's made it clear that she's made, those things, in case something happens to her, this needs to happen because, again, it's part of our county ordinance. This is law that says it doesn't matter who's there, if you have this type of shelter or business, that those records have to be available immediately. Again, there's a lot more to this, and we could dig in further.
Yeah, there is, and I feel...
But that's just something that, like I said, has to be...
Aside from Vera, I feel that this man pushed his limits with me as a person, with the way I was treated, the way things were not explained to me. Asked for help, and he goes, I don't know. And he's in charge of an animal shelter, yet he has no way to help. We asked him, days, do we have days? Do we have weeks? Do we have, well, you can talk to the judge in 30 days. No, I can't talk to the judge, she has to. I'm asking you, how can we help her? Don't know. Don't know who does rabies clinics, like some shot vet person, call you vet, I don't know.
And the next speaker?
Next speaker is Jordan Owens.
How's everyone doing? Hello. Yes, I work there at the...
State your name and address for the floor.
Jordan Owens, 2110 Dix Avenue and 2120. I was just stating that I worked there. I had an encounter with the gentleman. He said everything was perfect. Everything looked good. No smell, no feces, no nothing. She called me every 2, 3 in the morning all the time. So I'm really around the clock worker. I'm there pretty much 22 hours of the day. So I don't see anything that was wrong. And I just felt like the way that he came to the house and the things he described by saying everything smelled good, everything was amazing. And then to come the next day and say he smelled feces and urine everywhere, which is negative. Like, any one of you could come to the house and you won't smell or see anything. Everything is professionally done, on camera, live, in every room, everywhere. And you come in breaking cameras and assume, oh, it's just on the ground. It wasn't on the ground, it was attached to the wall, and now it's on the ground. We have to fix it, which I fixed it, so I just don't understand where anything went wrong. We asked questions, when do he need to see us, or when do we need to have things done? And he gave us no information on anything. And I'm there all the time, like, every day. First one there, last one to leave the job, every single day. So all the dogs, fire hazards, everything, so I really don't understand. And I wanted to know, because I want to be a breeder. I look up to Ms. Vera, and we have no problems with clients. Everyone knows who I am at the job. When they come, returning clients, any questions, they come back and they're provided with all the answers. And I just don't know where we left off on the wrong foot. Me and him, he said everything was amazing, and he spoke on the bird. The bird, 38 years old, not one broken feather. The bird is stressed. The bird screams like a dog, talks like a dog, called the dogs in. Like, I don't understand. Raised with German Shepherds, Dobermans, not one broken feather. And he said that the bird is stressed out. Not one feather is broken. Like, it just really had me upset because we came on a good start, and then you come and do this. You call in, caller ID, the Seminole County, and then you say, oh, wrong number, and then you pop up and you do this. So I don't know. You're questioning my family members, asking them who I am, and I only talked to you literally 5 minutes. So I really don't understand. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Oh, his assistant was very well, respectful, fine, perfect. She didn't have any complaints or anything, so. He lives there, actually. He stays in our, I live outside in the camper from time to time. If she needs me, I get up anytime.
Her bedroom.
Anytime. Her bedroom, her sleeps with her dog, pillows in her room. She lives better than me. Better than a lot of people.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Sherry Poznansky?
So I help her. She just had chemo. She's a cancer patient. She just had chemo.
Thank you. Go ahead and state your name and address for the board, please.
It's Sherry Poznansky, 3200 Hathaway Street, Deltona, Florida, 32738. I just want to thank you all for your time. I don't want to take up a lot of time. I'm a former employee of Vera's. I worked for her for 2 years until I was diagnosed with cancer, and unfortunately had to step back. I have never seen Vera do anything unethical with the dogs. I have been the one that's taken these dogs to the vet to have C-sections in the middle of the night. I go in for birthings for her, and she takes very good care of the dogs. They all have their rabies. I've taken the dogs to the rabies to get their shots. So that's pretty much really all I want to say is she would never do anything intentionally to hurt any dog, any animal. She loves all of them, takes care of them, and she hires only people that will take care of the dogs for her. That's pretty much all I really want to say.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
I have one question that I wanted to honestly know. Okay, could you have birds and dogs in the same house? Or you cannot because they're different species?
The ordinance does not limit birds. The ordinance was focused on dogs and cats.
So the bird couldn't be in the same house as the dog?
The bird is
different species.
I don't know that part of the law, to be honest with you. I can't say for certain if the bird can or cannot be in the same house with dogs. I know the ordinance specifies number of dogs and number of cats, but it doesn't take birds into consideration. So I don't believe the bird would have been included in the number of animals she's allowed to hear, but it does fall under the purview of animal services.
Okay.
So as far as enforcing the care of the animal, yes, that is animal services' responsibility, but there's nothing in regards to the ordinance that would prohibit birds and dogs being together.
Okay, I love the birds and dogs. I really don't speak well with everybody, but I understand dog understand.
Yeah, thank you.
Not about.
Regarding the same issue, but it's different.
I'm sorry. I appreciate your comment, and I believe we have a pretty clear picture of what's the concerns, and we appreciate it.
Not as far as the bird goes, because I'm sorry, but
I'm sorry, do you want to come up to the speaker so we can have it on, just because it's official records?
It's very, very
This bird, like they said, is 34, 36 years old, has been with dogs all its life. Adam told me that the bird has to be removed and put in a room of its own. That would make it out of the room of where a majority of us are, take it away from the dogs. I believe that that would stress out the bird more and be crueler than leaving that bird where it has a ball with those dogs, barking at them, they bark back, everything like that. But I was told that they cannot be together, and that is also on our little inspection report.
Okay.
Okay, so I wanted to make that aware that that was verbalized to me by him, that that bird has to be taken out.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next speaker?
Next speaker is Katie Fine.
My name's Katie Fine. I don't know if you need I'm from Austin, Texas. So do you still want my full address?
Yes.
Okay, it's 419 Live Oak Street, Austin, Texas 78640. All right. And I only need 3 minutes, but thanks for the 6. Hello, board members. Thank you for allowing me and other community members to make public comment today, as you have before. My name's Katie Fine. I'm the campaign senior strategist of electoral initiatives with Best Friends Animal Society, and I'm the campaign lead for the Change Save Seminole campaign. I've talked to many of you guys before, including at this meeting. As you know, this campaign launched several months ago to shed light on the unnecessary killing of healthy, otherwise adoptable dogs and cats at our taxpayer-funded animal shelter. I'm here today to congratulate you on the hiring of your new Animal Services Director, Adam Leith. Mr. Leith is a longtime shelter leader, both state and nationally recognized for his experience and action in shelter life-saving and best practices. We're extremely encouraged by his hire and believe this transition to exemplary leadership presents an amazing chance at reaching no kill and saving the lives of more shelter animals in Seminole County. Change Save Seminole and Best Friends Animal Society is and always has been here to offer support in your work to save the lives of shelter animals. And now more than ever, we extend the same resources under this new leadership. We're confident that great things will begin to take place very quickly and look forward to seeing the numbers improve. We're excited to see what this new era for Seminole County Animal Services will bring. Thank you all again, and thank you for your concern for the animals.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Jody Monroe. Menor.
Hi, I'm Jody Menor. My address is 1241 Alberta Street in Longwood, Florida 32750. And I'm just here as a citizen. I'm very excited about Adam Leith being hired, and I just wanted to say thank you. And I have to read this because I get nervous. So I'm excited to see positive changes that are coming for the animals and for the people working and volunteering at the shelter, and I'm encouraged and hopeful to see the save rate continue to increase. And I just want to thank you, everybody, for your dedication and hard work for the animals. So that's it.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Carla Wilson.
Hi, Carla Wilson, 702 Heather Lane in Winter Springs. And I wanted to welcome Mr. Leaf. I've heard wonderful things about you in the animal community. And I just, real quick, I've had this magazine, there's a good article in here about TNR from HSUS that I've had right when COVID hit. And so I remembered to bring it tonight. I apologize, but it's a good article to give to you and to give to each one of the commissioners. That's it. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you want to finish something else? Did you have a thought? Okay.
That's the end of public commentary.
Okay, is there anyone else who didn't fill out a form? Okay, so I do want to, one quick announcement, and unfortunately, Phyllis Abe with Spay and Safe, that's the local low-cost, high-volume spay neuter clinic. They celebrated their 100,000th surgery in December, which was after our last board meeting. So they have done a phenomenal job in terms of helping reduce the pet overpopulation problem, helping out animal services with all of the animals that are being handed off, and doing a great job with providing services to the TNVR group. So I just wanted to acknowledge the fact that they have done such a tremendous amount of outreach, and they have an amazing group of, it started as an all-volunteer group and has now progressed on to having a public shelter, a physical shelter, or a physical clinic where they, you can go there any day of the week and they are fully booked out, and there are people who are, coming in at 8 a.m. to drop the dogs off and 8:30 to drop the cats off. So it's a phenomenal organization. If you have an opportunity to ever want to volunteer at one of those high-volume, low-cost spay neuter clinic, they are always looking for volunteers, and they provide a great service to the community, and I'm sure they are going to be speaking a lot with you, or if they haven't already, I'm sure they will be speaking a lot with Mr. Leith in regards to that. So congratulations to Spay and Save for that tremendous benchmark. Is there any other public comment? Any other? Okay, the next item is to acknowledge our next meeting, which is June 13th. Any conflicts, problems, confusion?
I won't be there.
Do we need to reschedule, or is it just, we had rescheduled this out because there were some conflicts
I know,
earlier?
and
Okay.
basically all of June I'm gone.
All of June is gone, okay.
So it's not going to work for me for June.
Okay. But we'll be able to get, I assume the rest of the board will be able to get a quorum. So that, we'll just, that'll be excused, so.
Thank you.
So do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Have a good night.